We're gaming, folks. Bad Dummy versus CyberOdin. Who's going to come out on top? Who knows? We have to find out. It's a Tar Mirror. Bad Dummy exiting to Swampert. And CyberOdin to Suicune. CyberOdin has the upper hand in this particular interaction, forcing a switch to Blissey. Calm-minding up, in fact. We see a sub-Calm-mind Suicune getting some early momentum here. Maybe 1v1ing Blissey. Just Calm-mind up again. Okay, it's Calm-mind Blissey, in fact. So Bad Dummy turning the tables. Blissey should win this 1v1. Although does Suicune have Roar? That's entirely possible. Going for a Thunderbolt. Maybe a crit chance. Para chance. Bad Dummy may be a bit wary of Roar. Actually, based on CyberOdin's insistence on Calm-minding further. Bad Dummy might think something's up. There is indeed Roar. But Bad Dummy has brought Suicune low enough. It's at 48 to maybe be manageable. A Toxic Miss is disastrous. That's terrible. Guess you gotta lose Jirachi early on. CyberOdin with this Calm-mind Raw Suicune in a pretty excellent matchup. It's great against Blissey. You can rest up, but Blissey can take the time to Calm-mind up itself. But one Raw and you're back out, facing this damn monster of a Suicune. This is one of those sets you got to be very careful against. CyberOdin chooses not to play for that interaction. Right, Bad Dummy was going for the Moltres Raw. Threatening a Will-O-Wisp right here. Snorlax choosing to stay in Slam, though. And an enormous Paralysis on Furry. That could come into play. It does, immediately. With a Bad Dummy missing out on a crucial layer. And this Curse Snorlax might run away with things as well. We got Curse-Lax, Calm-mind Suicune, the classic Win-Con combo. Putting this Moltres TSS in shambles a little bit. It's can be a bit difficult to deal with Snorlax when you lack Skarmory on these Forretress builds. And yeah, this is looking terrible for Bad Dummy. Terrible. Really hope you have Will-O-Wisp at least to quell this threat a little bit. You do. And hopefully you dodge this Paralysis. And you do. Okay. So what you could do now is go Forretress, get your layers up, and roar the Suicune, sorry, the Snorlax out once it rests. Or forces to explode if it's Curse Explosion, which is another possible set. I would say it's probably rest based on the team structure. Hopefully you get at least one layer, and you do. So rough, though. Your Moltres is low. You lost your Jirachi kind of unfairly. Tyranitar had to be sacrificed for the greater good. You maybe could have done something pivoting Moltres in on an Earthquake when Tyranitar was on the field. That could have been something, but I don't know. A little bit tough to deal with this. Good news is that CyberOdin's main special wall appears to be Snorlax and not something like Blissey, making Moltres pretty good. Just choosing the HP Grass. I mean, surely CyberOdin is going to... Oh! Actually, beautiful play. Predicting a Pursuit. I guess the Curse Earthquake Snorlax is emblematic of a Pursuit Tar for support. That was a great awareness by Bad Dummy there. Even though the Tar was thus unrevealed. Hadn't clicked anything. Figured it's probably Pursuit Tar. Probably wants to click Pursuit here. I can squeeze in some extra damage. Bad Dummy trying to make something happen in what has been an unfortunate game so far. I love that. This Suicune is at least asleep and taking decent chip from that Earthquake and the Sand and the Spike. How many turns till it wakes? 2 more turns. We're going to Earthquake it down a little bit. As you do. And Suicune will obviously rest up here. Maybe Bad Dummy goes Moltres on the obvious rest. Yep, good play. ×2. Bad Dummy making good plays. trying to squeeze back into the game, get back into the conversation. A Salamence is going to be rough to deal with. Goes for HP Grass, actually, that time. Makes sense. Blissey can handle this, yeah. Can live a Brick Break and Ice Beam. How low are our enemies? Metagross entry point possible. Do you double to Moltres, baddummy? Decent mid-ground there, going to Swampert, yeah. That stops Metagross from doing stuff. Going Moltres might have been a bit more unsafe. Your Moltres is very important. And you can force another rest here. You can force another rest. You go Blissey this time. Yeah, you can do the same with Thunderbolts. You can just click Thunderbolts. I think you might have been wary there of a Salamence coming in on Earthquake and getting HP Grass, so that was a good mid-ground play. Not only covering the Suicune staying, but also the Salamence coming in, because you can threaten Ice Beam, at least. And going for that trade with Metagross, that's probably the best thing to sack is Forretress. And Claydol is going to stabilize for CyberOdin, probably just explode as well to simplify things. And baddummy with an incredibly valiant effort here, but just can't really get back in. CyberOdin is stabilized. No more spikes pressure. No more Forretress to make more spikes. Carmine Blissey could be your saving grace if you get some outstanding luck here. It's possible. You could crit this. You go for the T-Bolts. In comes Claydol, of course, and this is an easy explosion for CyberOdin, I imagine, unless you want to save the Claydol for some reason. Chooses to save it. Might not have explosion. It's possible it doesn't have it. Or just choosing not to click it there. I suppose it's useful to come in on those Thunderbolts. That is the one thing that could get you here is Carmine Blissey, so preserving Claydol for those Thunderbolts is useful, for sure. Going for the Ice Beam here. Oh, it's Rocks. Ah, the crit is just Salt in the damn wound. Ice Beam, not a terrible play against what is obviously a Pursuit Tar with mostly special attacks. At least you heal Blissey back up, but this Snorlax, how the hell do you deal with this? Swampert can maybe Ice Beam freeze it. I reckon you click Ice Beam here, hope for a Hail Mary. Might not even have Ice Beam on this set. Earthquake protects Surf. Does it refresh or something? And the crit para is... This is so rough for baddummy. So rough. It was probably over anyway, but that's just unfortunate right there. That's just unfought. I think that this was a very tough matchup for baddummy. The Carmine Raw Suicune is really good against this kind of Carmine Blissey TSS. But baddummy did play extremely well, considering not only the matchup, but the poor fortune. So, valiant effort. CyberOdin played well too, but a more straightforward game for CyberOdin. Nothing requiring any gaming, really. A simple victory for CyberOdin here. Made even more simple by the good fortune. A baddummy trying and failing, but a valiant effort regardless. Good game. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you later.